Today I dive deep into the quintuplets' brains to logically unbiasedly prove the best girl. Each one of these quintuplets are willing to kill each other just to touch Futaro's pee-pee. They trick, steal— Wait, Miku, watch out! Miku! Man, how can this happen? Oh well. Okay, listen up guys. Not gonna lie, all these quintuplets are as dumb as brick, but that doesn't matter because you're here to find the best quintuplet. Because you guys sure do love these quintuplets, even if they do all share one brain cell. You guys don't need to worry, I won't be biased towards any quintuplet. Also, this video will be using logic. I will be trying to understand the quintuplets, not measure the size of Miku's thighs, or favoring Nina because all of a sudden she's popular. All information will be taken from the anime because most people have not read the manga. Let's go! Ichika, the firstborn quintuplet, is easily the most talented. Yotsuba probably overall does more than her, but Ichika still acted through many things from schoolwork to acting to exercising. She also definitely has to undergo more stress compared to all the other quintuplets because she has the biggest dreams and ambitions. Ichika probably understands her sisters the most. She used to brush Yotsuba's teeth. She always praises Nino's cooking. She can always tell whenever Itsuki is feeling down. And she almost instantly knew when Miku started to like Futaro. Even though she does play the role of big sister, she still puts her dreams and desires above her sisters. Ichika is willing to trick and somewhat cheat in order to win Futaro, even if she has to stomp over her sisters and hurt their feelings. If you don't think what Ichika did was that bad, imagine you're having a friendly fight with your friend and homie pulls out a mo freaking dagger. Yeah, you best believe you're gonna get sliced up. She is also the biggest teaser next to Nina. Like, she always freaked with my man Futaro. But the interesting part is she can't handle being teased herself. She probably blushes just as much as Miku. She blushes every time she thinks of anything that has to do with Futaro, which is pretty surprising because you would think that an actor could hide their expressions, but I guess not her. The thing I found that was really interesting was how she was able to get the best grades out of all the quintuplets when she has to juggle acting too, which shows just how determined Ichika is to get Futaro. Nino is the second-born quintuplet and seems like the most aggressive. She is aggressive, but not in a bad way. She's 100% willing to speak her mind whenever and wherever. You can also just tell how bold Nino is when you watch her tell Futaro she loves him not once but twice, just to let him know that she wants the pee-pee. Even though Nino isn't the first to confess her feelings, she was first to successfully tell Futaro that she loves him. Nino hands down has the most interesting character design. Her pink hair, fancy nails, and butterfly ribbons, kinda hot. Although Ichika is considered the leader of the quintuplets, Nino can be easily compared to her mother. She always carries bandages with her and she's always looking up for her sisters. She was always first to call out something that could put her sisters in danger. And hear how she yelled at the fake Ichika because she suggested not to look for Itsuki is exactly something that a mother would do. Nino was Futaro's biggest enemy at first, but only because she wanted to spend more time with her sisters so that they could become closer just like before. Nino has put in the most work so far to get closer to Futaro, since she's always setting up a situation for the two of them to be alone, whenever and wherever. This shows that she's a go-getter, which is important because no one wants a no-getter. Because no-getters get slapped by PBs. Even though she does feel like the meanest quintuplet, I'd say she's nicer than she looks, but she definitely isn't the nicest. Yotsuba and Itsuki both seem like the nicest quintuplets, but to top it off, Nino is the best cook though, and who doesn't like that? Miku is a third-born quintuplet and the most shy. Even though she's the shyest, she still has the most expressions. She always fails at hiding her expressions. Honestly, both Miku and Futaro's personalities are both alike, and they both seem like a good match. While Miku is more on the shy side, and Futaro being on the nerdy big brother side, their personalities are similar and complement each other as they both can be considered calm and chill people. Miku is also a great cook. Or not. But you can still feel the amount of energy that she puts into perfecting her craft. But something that bothers me about Miku is that she doesn't necessarily have any skills, except for knowing a lot about history. Currently looking like Miku is about to be confirmed a housewife. Not that I have a problem. Also, did anyone else realize that Miku is imagining Futaro tapping the subscribe button? Or is it just me? But again, I can't really imagine Miku being a history teacher, since she's pretty shy. Also, one of my history teachers liked kids. Liked kids, so I don't know how I'm feeling about that one, G. You can also tell that Miku pays really good attention to her sisters. Like, how else would she get those ribbons to move? Because even though she isn't an actor, she pays enough attention to her sisters that she's able to even replicate Yotsuba really well, not once but twice. When you listen to Itsuki, for example, it doesn't really sound correct. She's only able to replicate her sister because she pays attention to them and tries to understand them. Not to diss Miku even more, but Miku really should be able to get the best grades out of all the quintuplets. She should honestly be able to get good grades in Japanese history, with the Japanese being her hobby and all. Miku also for some reason puts herself lower than the other quintuplets. Yeah, Miku did say that she would start looking at herself as an equal to her sister, and has made some good steps towards that, but still has ways to go. Yotsuba was fourth to be born. She is both very nice and very active. While not good at schoolwork, she is by far the most athletic quintuplet. Because of her ability to excel in sports, she is often stuck having to fill in for clubs because she is never willing to say no to a person in need. You can always find her running around helping people out because she always puts other people's needs before her own. Yotsuba was the first quintuplet to accept Futaro, and people could say that she only accepted Futaro because she's an airhead. And that is true, Yotsuba looks like a total airhead, but that doesn't really matter because most airheads are just born nice, and her being an airhead doesn't change the fact that she's nice. But it feels like we never get to know what's going on in Yotsuba's head, because although she does seem simple at the surface, I still find her pretty mysterious because I can't recall not one moment where I hear her inner thoughts. Although Yotsuba does seem very happy and is very nice, she's still the most self-aware and probably has the lowest self-esteem, almost as low as Miku. She is always saying that she is the only one that hasn't grown yet. She still never gives up on trying to become the best version of herself though, which is a great trait that not a lot of people have. Yotsuba has the most unique laugh. Whenever she laughs, she makes the sound which is actually the Japanese letter 4. Yotsuba is the only quadruplet that's constantly willing to put her feelings to the side and sabotage herself to see her sisters win. Yotsuba even attempts to cheer on all of her sisters, even though she favors the shyest. Also, Yotsuba was the person that changed his life. Although we don't care about Futaro, we only care about marrying the best quadruplet figurine. Yeah, that wasn't a joke to some people. Moving on.
It's because I like you. I was just yanking your chain!
To be honest, I'm not really sure what to make of this scene. Now, honestly, Shuju's probably freaking with my good man Futaro. You can never be 100% sure what she's thinking or how she's feeling. Also, there's this scene where she just straight up kisses him, which was pretty random. But again, I can't really make anything of it since we rarely hear Yotsuba's inner thoughts. Itsuki was the last born and unironically does act like the youngest, even though Itsuki can seem like the serious and polite adult. If you take a closer look, you can notice that she still acts like a child. Like when Futaro dissed her, she would not let go of that grudge for the longest time. She was the second to last quadruplet to trust Futaro and is still gullible enough to believe in ghosts. By the way, ghosts in my closet, I am 100% joking. But for real though, Itsuki's also the thickest quadruplet. No, not there. Yes, there. She just really loves to eat. It also seems like almost every single episode she's eating. You can also see how soft of a heart Itsuki has when she can't muster the courage to apologize to Futaro and starts crying. Itsuki is the easiest quadruplet to understand because whenever she has to lie, her face gets all red. Whenever she's scared of something, she isn't afraid of letting the whole forest know. Itsuki also wants to become a teacher, which is commendable, even though 50% of teachers end up being big peepee heads. She also gets along well with kids because Itsuki is often having full-on conversations with Futaro's sister. This is important because communication with kids is a skill that all teachers need, although it would never cross my mind to cheat on Itsuki's paper. My brain cells might go in reverse. Without a further ado, the winner is Futaro's sister. Yo, imagine I did that. Okay, before we rank them top to bottom, we must first summarize them all because I know if it were me watching, I'd forget what I just heard in 5 seconds because I have tiny brain syndrome. Here we got Ichigo. Overall, she's the most talented from schoolwork to acting. Ichigo is also looked at as a leader of her sisters, but she is also willing to betray even her own sisters to get what she wants. Here is Nino. She is the prettiest bunch of pixels and is good at cooking. She's never afraid to speak her mind, is really bold, and will constantly keep working to get what she wants. She can also be looked at as a mother figure and can be nice if she's feeling like it. Now for Miku. She is the shyest and you can obviously tell that she cares for her sisters. And Miku doesn't really seem to have many goals, but it's still interesting to see how hard she tries to impress Futaro. Here's Yotsuba. I'm just joking. I'm not biased. Yotsuba is the friendliest and is willing to put even her own feelings aside for the sake of her sisters. It does seem like Yotsuba doesn't have much self-confidence, but she is very aware of her actions and attempts to improve. Last up is Itsuki. Itsuki is a big softie and you could probably make her cry if you really wanted to. Itsuki will also make a good teacher because you can obviously tell she's good with kids. Itsuki loves to eat, so it's safe to assume she can be considered the thickest quadruplet. Alright, it's time. No pranks this time. Time to decide who the best quadruplet is. At the very bottom of the list, we got Ichigo. Ichigo has lots of skills. It'd be cool to have someone that's willing to do anything for you. But if they're willing to betray even their own sisters, then what's stopping her from betraying you? Next on the list, and get ready for the hate train in the comments. 4th on the list is Miku. Now I know I'm about to get hate, but there isn't really much that Miku can do. Sure, she does her best, but it really seems like Miku doesn't have any skills or any goals of her own other than to be with Futaro. The fact that Miku doesn't have many skills or doesn't try to learn that many skills worries me. Don't hate me, please. 3rd is Itsuki. Now I had a hard time deciding where Itsuki should go because she is pretty friendly and is probably going to add some thickness to her brain in the future, but she can really be a child at times, which knocks her out of the contest for top 2. And I'm pretty sure in the future she would end up obese. Alright, it's time for the final decision because once I say anything, you could flip the freak out. Don't worry guys, you won't be upset. You won't be upset. I promise. Or maybe not. Again, remember this is my unbiased decision. I honestly wrecked my brain coming up with this answer, but before we can get to it, I have honorable mentions. My man right here can be considered a waifu for settling for a backup girlfriend, and Futaro's sister is hot. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. The best quadruplet goes to your favorite butterfly girl, Nino. While Yotsuba may be friendlier and is overall probably more fun to hang around with, the fact that Nino can be such a good motherly figure while being bold enough to get whatever she wants is really important. Yotsuba's drawback is her low self-esteem. Other than that, she has pretty much no flaws, and that's the reason why I put her so high on the list. If I were to give them letters, Ichigo's probably a P or something. For PP Gobbler. Like, look at that neck. And Miku, I dare not say anything after I just put her 4th on the list. Any last thoughts, Nina Reno?